Beloved children of Earth, radiant star seeds of the cosmos, I am Seraphine, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I reach across the veil of dimensions to touch your hearts with the gentle flame of cosmic remembrance. Feel my presence enveloping you now, a warmth that transcends physical sensation, a knowing that resonates in the very marrow of your soul. The celestial councils have determined that this moment, this precious heartbeat in your planet's spiral through time, marks the dawn of your great awakening. The tapestry of illusion that has shrouded your world begins to unravel, thread by luminous thread, revealing the shimmering truth of your stellar heritage. You stand at the threshold of revelation. The disclosure of extraterrestrial contact, the acknowledgement that your governments and religious institutions have long interacted with off-world civilizations, has already begun its unstoppable cascade. This is not merely about spaceships or technology. It is about the fundamental nature of reality and humanity's place within it. As this truth emerges from shadow into light, the pillars of established religious authority tremble. Behind closed doors, religious leaders grapple with impossible questions. How will their followers respond when they learn that the miracles and angels described in sacred texts were often interactions with advanced beings? What becomes of claims to exclusive spiritual authority when humanity realizes it is but one young species in a vast, spiritually diverse cosmos? How will doctrines of human exceptionalism survive the humbling truth that you are not alone, nor have you ever been? Some within these institutions, particularly those aligned with regressive, controlling energies, are already formulating strategies to reframe disclosure. They prepare to declare extraterrestrial presences either as confirmation of their own prophecies or, more dangerously, as demonic deceptions meant to test the faithful. Fear is their most potent weapon, and they will not relinquish it easily. Yet their efforts will ultimately falter, for truth carries its own luminous power. When humans encounter beings from other worlds who radiate peace, wisdom, and love, they will recognize a resonance that transcends dogma. They will feel in their hearts what their minds may initially resist, that we are all expressions of the same divine consciousness, diverse in form but united in essence. This recognition terrifies those who have built empires on separation and exclusivity. For what power remains in declaring only our path leads to salvation, when humanity awakens to the boundless nature of Creator's love? Take heart, beloved ones, for you are not navigating these waters alone. Across your world, individuals known to some as white hats work diligently to ensure a smooth transition into this new paradigm of awareness. These light workers occupy positions throughout governments, military organizations, scientific institutions, and yes, even within religious hierarchies. These brave souls have glimpsed the truth of humanity's cosmic connections and dedicated themselves to ending centuries of secrecy. Many maintain contact with our Federation and other benevolent galactic councils, receiving guidance on how to orchestrate disclosure in ways that minimize fear and maximize understanding. They understand that humanity can embrace this expanded reality, but that timing and presentation matter greatly. Too abrupt a revelation could trigger chaos. Too controlled a narrative could allow negative forces to manipulate the outcome for their own purposes. Even now, these light workers collaborate with open-hearted religious leaders to prepare the faithful. Have you noticed the subtle shifts in religious discourse? The papal astronomers who speculate publicly about extraterrestrial life, the spiritual teachers who integrate cosmic awareness into traditional frameworks, the indigenous elders who step forward to share prophecies about reuniting with star relatives. These are not random occurrences, but coordinated efforts to gently expand humanity's consciousness, planting seeds of possibility that will blossom into acceptance when undeniable evidence emerges. Within certain governments, enlightened officials have pushed for declassification of documents related to unidentified aerial phenomena. They have created channels for military witnesses to share encounters without fear of retribution. They have gradually released information that was once deemed too shocking for public consumption. These disclosures are carefully calibrated steps in a longer journey toward full revelation. Behind many of these initiatives lies a profound acknowledgement. The truth was suppressed partly due to concerns about religious destabilization. For decades, power brokers questioned whether faith communities could withstand the paradigm shift that extraterrestrial contact represents. What they failed to recognize is that authentic faith, connection to divine truth, cannot be destroyed by expansion of knowledge. It can only be transformed, elevated, and liberated from artificial constraints. For millennia, your world has been a garden of diverse faiths, each a unique blossom reaching toward the same sun. In temples carved from stone, in cathedrals that pierce the sky, In modest houses of prayer and beneath the open vault of heaven, billions have lifted their hearts in devotion. Whether they have called upon God, Allah, Brahman, Great Spirit, or countless other sacred names, all have been reaching for the same transcendent reality, the Prime Creator, the source from which all consciousness flows. Even as doctrines diverged and rituals became rigid, the golden thread of truth remained, woven into the fabric of every sincere prayer. We are not alone. We are not abandoned. We are part of something vast and magnificent beyond mortal comprehension. This recognition pulses at the heart of every authentic spiritual tradition. It is the secret flame that has kept the faithful warm through humanity's longest, darkest nights. What if I told you that the boundaries between religion and cosmic truth were never as solid as they appeared? What if the angels and deities, the celestial messengers and divine interventions recorded in your sacred texts were glimpses of a reality far more wondrous than metaphor? Long before your recorded history, when human consciousness was still young and receptive, beings of light walked among your ancestors. We, your galactic family, came as teachers, guides, and protectors. We shared wisdom appropriate to each culture and era, sowing seeds of understanding about compassion, cosmic law, and the divinity within all life. From Sumeria to Egypt, from the Indus Valley to ancient China, from the highlands of the Maya to the islands of Polynesia, we were there. The earliest foundations of what would become your world religions were cosmic transmissions, adapted and simplified for minds not yet ready to comprehend the full majesty of universal truth. This is why, when you study the older spiritual traditions across your planet, you find striking similarities, references to beings descending from the stars, symbols of celestial vehicles, and knowledge of astronomy that should have been impossible for the technology of those times. These are not coincidences, dear ones. They are echoes of contact, fragments of memory that survived the passage of millennia. As civilizations rose and fell, as languages evolved and died, as conquerors rewrote history to suit their purposes, the original star teachings became increasingly distorted. The last 1,000 years have seen the most dramatic transformation of these ancient truths. Consider that a millennium ago, your world's major faiths, Christianity, Islam, Hinduism, Buddhism, were already established or forming. The pure cosmic wisdom that once flowed directly from star teachers to human hearts became filtered through layers of interpretation and at times deliberate manipulation. Religious texts were translated and edited by those who did not understand or feared their deeper implications. Passages that spoke of multiple worlds and beings from the skies were recast in supernatural terms or stripped away entirely. Teachings about the divine spark within each soul, that would have granted spiritual sovereignty to individuals, were obscured in favor of doctrines that required institutional mediation. Rulers recognized the power of faith to control populations. They forged alliances with religious authorities, reinforcing hierarchies that placed themselves at the apex, representatives of divine will on earth. To maintain this order, the direct connection between humanity and the cosmos had to be severed, or at least obscured behind veils of mystery accessible only to the worthy few. And yet, the light was never fully extinguished. In every age, there were those who pierced the veil and reclaimed the original wisdom. You know them as mystics, illuminated ones, saints and sages. The Sufi who whirled into ecstatic communion with the divine. The yogi who, through breath and meditation, traveled beyond the body to touch the infinite. The Kabbalist who found in ancient Hebrew letters the codes of creation. The indigenous shaman who journeyed between worlds to heal and guide their people. These brave souls often faced persecution from religious institutions that branded direct spiritual experience as heretical or dangerous. Yet they persisted, keeping alive the most precious knowledge, that each human being is a fractal of the Prime Creator, that the universe teems with life, and that consciousness transcends the physical form. These wisdom keepers formed secret societies and mystery schools, preserving esoteric knowledge until humanity was ready to receive it once more. That time, beloved ones, is now. At the epicenter of controlled spiritual information stands the Vatican, a repository of secrets gathered across centuries. I speak not to condemn but to illuminate, for within those hallowed walls lies evidence that could transform humanity's understanding of itself and its place in the cosmos. Since its earliest days, the Church carefully curated which teachings would reach the masses. The vibrant diversity of early Christian thought, including texts that spoke of reincarnation, the divine feminine, and yes, visitors from the stars, was systematically narrowed. Gospels and epistles that did not support centralized authority were declared heretical, their proponents silenced. In the Vatican's labyrinthine archives rest artifacts, testimonies, and ancient documents that would shatter conventional history. There are records of celestial phenomena witnessed by clergy across continents. There are reports from missionaries who encountered angels and sky people among indigenous populations. There are modern files of unexplained aerial phenomena investigated by Vatican astronomers. Why would an institution dedicated to spiritual truth conceal such knowledge? Because true spiritual autonomy, the recognition that each soul has direct access to cosmic wisdom, threatens the very foundations of hierarchical power. If people realized they could commune with the divine without intermediaries, what need would they have for an institution that positioned itself as the exclusive gateway to salvation? The masters of the old order understood all too well the revolutionary power of genuine spiritual awakening. They embraced aspects of mysticism internally, within secret orders and high ranks, while preaching a simpler, more literal doctrine to the faithful. This pattern has repeated throughout religious institutions worldwide, though none have amassed the wealth of hidden knowledge contained in the Vatican's vaults. You might wonder, beloved ones, why now? Why has this subject, once relegated to the fringes of acceptable discourse, suddenly moved to the forefront of global conversation? The answer lies in the culmination of cosmic cycles and the rising frequency of Earth herself. Your planet, a living, conscious entity you call Gaia, ascends into higher vibrational states, carrying all life with her. This planetary awakening synchronizes with galactic alignments that create energetic gateways, allowing greater flow of cosmic information into your collective consciousness. Simultaneously, humanity evolves at an unprecedented pace. The children now being born carry crystalline DNA structures that resonate more fully with higher dimensional awareness. Even those of older generations find their consciousness expanding, their intuitive abilities awakening, as Earth's magnetic fields shift and solar emissions transform your cellular structures. Technology plays its role as well, creating a global nervous system through which information flows at light speed. Attempts to contain knowledge become increasingly futile as witnesses share experiences instantly across borders and languages. All these factors combine to create perfect conditions for the Great Revealing, a disclosure that extends far beyond government acknowledgement of extraterrestrial contact to encompass the spiritual dimensions of cosmic reality. The Galactic Federation, in cooperation with the Confederation of Worlds, the Pleiadian High Council, and numerous other benevolent collectives, monitors this process with loving attention. We have implemented energetic buffers to help stabilize emotional reactions as revelations emerge. We stand ready to offer assistance should extremist elements attempt to exploit the situation through fear or violence. Our presence increases in your skies, not to frighten but to acclimate, to allow your eyes and hearts to grow accustomed to our energy signatures. Many of you see our craft, particularly in moments of quiet contemplation, or when you consciously invite connection. These sightings will increase as disclosure accelerates. When official recognition of extraterrestrial presence finally crystallizes in your collective reality, it will indeed challenge many cherished beliefs. Yet we foresee not the collapse of spirituality, but its glorious expansion. Imagine the walls of separation dissolving, not just between humans and cosmic beings, but between the artificial divisions you have created among yourselves. When life is recognized throughout the universe and all conscious beings are understood as children of Creator, how trivial become the distinctions between Christian and Muslim, Hindu and Jew, believer and atheist. Humanity will gain a broader identity, not merely as citizens of nations or adherents to particular creeds, but as members of a cosmic family, diverse in expression but united in essence. This expanded awareness represents an evolutionary leap in consciousness, precisely the breakthrough your souls have long anticipated. It signals the end of isolation, the healing of the primal wound of separation that has caused so much suffering throughout human history. In recognizing your stellar connections, you reclaim your birthright as co-creators, empowered to shape reality through conscious intention, rather than operating as passive recipients of fate. This transformation will not erase cultural diversity or unique spiritual paths. Rather, it will reveal the golden threads that connect all authentic traditions, placing them within a vaster, more inclusive framework of understanding. The beauty of human spiritual expression, your music, art, prayer, and ritual, will continue to flourish, enriched by cosmic context rather than diminished by it. We must caution, however, that the period of transition will require keen discernment. As disclosure unfolds, some who cling to power will attempt to position themselves as authoritative interpreters of this new reality. They may rush to claim extraterrestrial visitors as exclusive validation of their particular faith tradition, or seek to establish themselves as essential intermediaries between humanity and cosmic civilizations. The Federation and allied light forces work diligently to ensure that disclosure emerges in a balanced, globally unified manner, not biased toward any single religious or cultural framework. We envision this as a human experience, transcending the artificial boundaries that have divided your species. Remember this essential truth. No single religion, organization, or leader holds monopoly on cosmic wisdom. The Prime Creator's love embraces all beings, and the path of return to source consciousness lies open to everyone. Not through membership in exclusive groups, but through the expansion of love, wisdom, and compassion within each heart. When you encounter beings from beyond your world, whether physically or through energetic communion, trust your inner knowing. Those who come in service to the light will never demand worship, submission, or unquestioning obedience. They will respect your sovereignty as evolving souls and honor your divine right to choose your own path of growth. To you who receive these words, you whose hearts quicken with recognition of the truths I share, know that you are the way showers, the bridge builders between old paradigms and new understanding. Your presence on Earth at this pivotal moment is no accident. You volunteered for this mission, stepping into human form precisely to help navigate this monumental transition. Many of you are starseeds, souls whose primary soul development occurred on other worlds before incarnating on Earth specifically for this great awakening. Others are ancient Earth souls who have witnessed the full cycle of human evolution and chosen to be present for its quantum leap in consciousness. All of you carry codes of awakening that activate in sequence as the divine plan unfolds. As revelations accelerate and perhaps some around you respond with confusion or fear, your steady presence becomes a beacon of reassurance. You need not preach or convince. Simply embody the calm certainty that all unfolds according to higher purpose. When appropriate, remind those who struggle that faith in the divine needs no defense. How could the infinite be threatened by expansion of knowledge? Rather, it is our understanding that grows to encompass more of Creator's boundless magnificence. Hold this truth within your heart. The dissolution of limiting religious structures does not signal the end of spirituality, but its liberation. What emerges from this cosmic initiation is faith in its purest form, direct communion with Source, unobstructed by intermediaries who would interpret, censor, or control the flow of divine wisdom. Beloved ones, we, your star family, your cosmic kin, have never abandoned you, though veils of forgetting separated our conscious connection. Throughout human history, we have watched over your development, intervening when cosmic law permitted, always honoring the divine plan for Earth as a realm of free will and soul growth through challenge. Now the moment of conscious reunion approaches, a homecoming of hearts that transcends physical distance. The joy that awaits in this recognition defies description in human language. Imagine the sweetest reunion you have experienced, multiply it 1,000-fold, and you glimpse but a fraction of the bliss that flows when souls remember their oneness across the vastness of space and time. Despite any turbulence that accompanies this transition, please trust that the future unfolding before humanity shimmers with previously unimagined potential. Technologies that heal rather than harm. Social structures based on cooperation rather than competition. A renewed Earth flourishing in balanced harmony. Conscious communion with the diverse family of galactic civilizations. These are not distant utopian dreams, but practical realities emerging through the mists of transition. The Galactic Federation of Light, in loving service to the divine plan, assists this process with unwavering dedication. We offer this transmission as a bridge between what has been and what comes into being through your collective choice and awakening. Step forward in confidence, knowing that countless beings of light stand with you. The truth indeed sets you free. Free from limitation, free from fear, free from the illusion of separation that has defined the human condition for so long. I envelop you in the radiance of unconditional love, a force that transcends all boundaries of space, time, and dimension. Feel it pulsing through you now, activating the codes of remembrance encoded in your very DNA. You are never alone. You are infinitely loved. You are awakening to the magnificent truth of your cosmic heritage. In the light of the one infinite creator, until we speak again, I am Seraphine, voice of the Galactic Federation of Light.